Jai friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Apparently there is some sort of hatred. Otherwise, if you want to loot, you loot. Right? If you really want to steal, then you steal. Why do you burn? Why do you burn libraries? Showing surprise that the Afghans are coming and killing. Afghans have always been coming and killing you. It is just that when they were doing it to Hindus, you were celebrating. Now they're doing it towards you, you are feeling bad. Jai friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Friends, there has been another case of Quran burning, and this time in Denmark. You know, the earlier one was in Sweden and now it's happened in Denmark. Look at the Chanakya Dialogues English of 2-3 days back. I had predicted that this would happen. It's there on record and you can go and look it up, where I said that it will happen again and again and again. And it happened within 48 hours of my prediction. This has come true and I'll tell you why I said that. And today I want to discuss this whole Quran burning thing a little bit and why it is happening in Europe and what exactly are the Europeans trying to do. The Europeans are holding on very closely to their culture because their culture is one of free speech. Tomorrow, if somebody burnt the Bible, the Europeans would say nothing because that is their culture. Now, they don't understand why the Muslims are in an uproar because somebody burns the Qurans. Now that's all right. You know, that's all right as far as the Europeans are concerned. Now, as far as the Muslim world is concerned, their relationship with the Quran is totally different from the relationship of, let's say, some of the European Christians. I'm not saying all. Some of the European Christians towards Christianity or the Holy Bible. Their relationship is totally different. For one, I strongly condemn the burning of any holy book. All right? The people who burned the Quran Sharif were totally wrong. But here, the video discusses not that they are wrong or right. I'm saying why it is being done. This is a form of protest that the Europeans are doing, and more countries in Europe are going to do it. UK might be the last one. But don't be surprised if it happens in France. Don't be surprised if it happens in Belgium. Don't be surprised if it happens in Poland. Don't be surprised if it happens in Italy. Do not be surprised because it is going to happen. It's going to happen. And the thing is that because of various wars that America fought after 9/11, there have always been refugees from these countries, largely Muslim countries. All the countries, why only Muslim? Every country in the world, but largely Muslim countries because we're talking about desecration of the Quran Sharif here. So I'm going to focus on Muslim countries in my talk today and my video today. So, you know, a lot of these Muslim countries have people living in Europe, a lot of them. And a lot of them are troubled countries. So if you see typically the reactions coming out, you'll see the rich Muslim countries having a stable and sober reaction. They will also condemn very strongly the burning of the Quran. Like the UAE, like Saudi Arabia, they will very strongly condemn it. They will have diplomatic overtures and, you know, trying to get the other guy here, go to him and say that, you know, we disagree and you must apologize and all. They'll do all of that. It is the poor Muslim countries that will burn various embassies and all. Like, for example, the one that happened in Iraq, you know, they burned the Swedish embassy. Denmark burning happens in protest. So, like, for example, most of the immigrants who were involved in the rioting in France. Now, I'm coming to France right now. Most of the people who were involved in the rioting in France, the immigrants who were very upset, I don't actually think they were upset. I think the rioting happened because it was an opportunity to loot, burn and pillage, and it was an opportunity to, you know, let out that hatred that they feel for the French nation. And if they feel hatred, I don't know why they're in the French nation in the first place, but apparently there is some sort of hatred. Otherwise, if you want to loot, you loot, right? If you really want to steal, then you steal. Why do you burn? Why do you burn libraries? Or why would you burn public buildings? For what? Because one guy got killed? Sure. You know, you must have your lawyers and say that put that policeman in prison, but no. When you burn over 400 buildings, when there is widespread arson across a country, when you actually have people burning more than 3,000 automobiles, there is a message that a very vocal minority is trying to give to the majority. That we can burn your houses, we can burn your shops, we can burn your vehicles, we can shut down your schools. We can absolutely incinerate your libraries and there is nothing you can do about it because we have come here now. That is the message. which is why in protest all this is happening. Again, burning of the Quran is very wrong. I condemn it, but it's going to happen more and more and more because these far-right forces, the people of Europe have very slowly, and I'm not saying this is the prevalent mood in Europe, I'm not making that point because it's not, but very slowly, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, the mood in France, in Germany, in Poland, the entire European Union plus UK is slowly getting uglier and uglier, right? And there is this confrontation that is brewing. And the confrontation is between Muslims on one side and Europeans on the other side. I would not say Muslims and Christians because that is not true. Because these guys who are burning the Quran are very happy to burn the Holy Bible. They're very happy to burn it. I mean, they couldn't care two hoots, right? But it is between, I don't want to use the word European civilization or European sensibilities, but let's say current prevailing European thinking of a few people. And a large Muslim minority on the other side that really respects and loves the Quran, and here, so they are at loggerheads. And the fight on the face of it, which I think is a lot of bunkum, I think it's more about politics than anything else, but the fight on the face of it, as both sides project, or at least one side projects, is for the soul of Europe. What does it mean to be European? The right to offend. They say that if you find this offensive, get out of Europe. Because Europeans are like this. And they're very happy, as I said, to burn the Bible tomorrow if they want. They say that if you find this offensive, get out of Europe. Yeah? You have no business being here. You come here as economic refugees. You don't integrate into our society. And then you want to tell us how to live. We are not going to stand for that. Now, the other side or the other party says, you've had a very dark colonial past. You came into our countries first. You destroyed our countries. You took everything away from our countries. Why do you complain when we come to your countries? Now, that argument is also right. That's not a wrong argument. So there are right and wrong on both the sides. Now, I'm not here to balance it out, but I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that this Quran burning thing is going to go on and on in Europe. Because the far-right parties, some of them fascist in their thinking. Like, for example, the party that rules Italy right now. They are saying no to immigration. There are very vocal political parties in Europe who are saying absolutely no to immigration. This mass immigration that Germany started, all that nonsense. Come, welcome to our homes, and we are opening our homes to you. All that nonsense that Germany started. And even France did that, and a lot of countries did it. Now they are suffering. And I, as an Indian, feel that even if somebody wants to come to India, he's welcome, she's welcome. But we must have proper controls. You cannot have a system in place where anybody just walks in and, tells you a sob story and you say, well, welcome to my country. No. This whole thing about global citizen, and I don't agree with this nonsense at all. There is no global citizen. It's all a lie, right? I've heard a lot of MBA students talking about that, He's very successful, he's a global. No, you're not a global citizen. You carry a passport and you're a citizen of the country. This whole concept of global citizen is wrong. And when you allow immigration, unbridled immigration into a country, you're calling for problems. I'm not saying that you should not have immigration. I'm not saying that poor should not come and settle down. It's not about the money factor. It's about who you let into your country. It doesn't matter if the person who comes to your country is a Muslim or a Hindu or a Sikh or a Christian. It does not matter. The religion does not matter. The skin color does not matter. The ethnicity of the person does not matter. The language he speaks or she speaks does not matter. But what should matter is the educational qualification of the person. Or if the person is actually very seriously in political problems and the person, needs asylum of some sort. And it should be in the rarest of rare cases. Otherwise, welcome people from all religions, all ethnicities, all language groups, all nations into Europe. But the first priority should be educated people. Have top class, the best educated people come into Europe. Don't allow riffraff to come because they'll burn your country to the ground. Now, the second news is from Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, and the news from Pakistan is again funny. Now, they say that once again Pakistan has warned the Taliban authorities in Kabul. They've warned them twice, before also. Now, once again, they have warned. I don't know when Pakistan is going to act. They'll keep on warning. They've said once again Pakistan warned, and after 3 days, Pakistan will once again warn, and after 1 week, they'll once again warn, and then it'll be 2024, 2025, and they'll say we have once again warned Afghanistan. They've been warning Afghanistan, I don't know how many times, but Well, the latest news is that they have once again warned Afghan Taliban to desist. Now, here's the news. Once again, Pakistan has warned the Taliban authorities in Kabul about the consequences of attacks the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan is conducting from across the border. This is Dawn News, okay, by the way, this is a Pakistani newspaper, and they get all poetic when they talk. There's nothing factual about Pakistani newspapers. They get very, very poetic and all. In the most strongly worded statements by the Pakistani military and government leaders since the Taliban's return to power 2 years ago, Kabul was told to ensure Afghanistan soil is not used to perpetrate terrorist attacks against another country. This was the latest indication of growing strains in relations between Pakistan and Afghanistan. I do not know which. I'll just come to my analysis. Give me a second. 2 consecutive statements by the military last week voiced serious concern about the safe havens and liberty of action available to the TTP in Afghanistan. Now, I don't know which fool's paradise these Pakistanis are living in. You're saying once again do you think that the Taliban cares about you warning them? Do you think that the Taliban is actually afraid of the so-called world's #1 army or the world's #1 intelligence service? Do you think the Taliban really cares about what a bunch of old corps commanders sitting in Rawalpindi, they keep on spouting nonsense every second day that we will do? Do it! Stop threatening Pakistanis. They think that this is some Lahori Punjabi movie. Typical Lahori Punjabi movie in which the hero and the villain will stand in front of each other and they'll keep on, one dialogue, the second dialogue, one dialogue, I'll kill you, I'll destroy you, I'll burn your house. Nobody does anything. They'll stand at 20 feet apart and abuse each other. This is what Lahori Punjabi movies are. Nobody's doing anything. They're just screaming at each other. And this is exactly because all the corps commanders are mostly Lahoris. When I say Lahori, I mean from Pakistani Punjab, not specifically the city of Lahore. That's what they're doing. And the Taliban is not saying anything because the Taliban knows if you come inside, we'll kill you. That's it. That is what the Taliban's stated position is. You try to enter Afghanistan, then we'll show you. Till then, we are not speaking because Afghans say we don't believe in speaking. We'll not speak. When you come, we'll sort you out. Because we sorted out Soviet Russia, we sorted out the United States of America. Who's Pakistan? Or what is Pakistan for that matter? Zero, a non-entity. That is what the Afghans think. And here, the corps commanders and the military leadership of Pakistan will say, once again, we warn you. I want to tell the Pakistanis one thing. Terrorists did not start coming into Pakistan and hammering you after the Afghan Taliban came to power. Earlier, the Pakistanis were blaming the Indians, that it was the Indian consulates in Afghanistan, as many as 24, they said, which is not true. We had just, I think, 3 or 4, but they said there are 24 Indian consulates, 24 Indian consulates there, embassy there, which harbored Tehreek-e-Taliban, and India gave money and sent them all that nonsense, conspiracy theory, typically Pakistani Lahoris, those conspiracy theories. But the fact of the matter is that this has been happening for a very long time. In fact, let me tell you something, gentlemen and ladies, this has been happening for 1,000 years. You see, the ancestors of the Taliban, they always came and attacked Punjab. The ancestors of the Taliban and their neighbors towards the north, the Central Asians, the Uzbeks, the Tajiks, or the Mongols, and so many others, they came through that area. The Afghans. Now, who were the Duranis, who were the Gauris, the Ghaznavis, who came to India, looted, sacked people, raped women, looted and broke temples? Who were they? They came through Afghanistan, or they were Afghans themselves? Mostly they were Afghans. Ghazni is a town in Afghanistan. They came from there, they looted. They're doing the same thing that they've been doing for 1,000 years. Why are the Pakistanis surprised? I don't understand. The Pakistanis celebrate the fact that these people came from Afghanistan for 1,000 years and killed Hindus. And that is something worthy of being celebrated, which is why all their missiles are named on these invaders. You see, all the Pakistani missiles are named on invaders. Gauri, Ghaznavi, Babar. Who are all these people? They were invaders. And all these Pakistani missiles are named after invaders. Because they admire the invaders, therefore they have named their missiles. But now the descendants of these invaders, or people from the same ethnic stock, are doing the same thing that their forefathers did, on whom these missiles are named. And today Pakistan has a problem. Why are you coming and killing us? I mean, this is absolute craziness. These people have been killing people in that region for 1,000 years. This is their family profession. They will come again and again and again. And there is nothing that the Pakistanis can do about it. There is nothing they can do about it except lump it. And they'll have to lump it, and the Afghans will come and thrash them and go back, which is what they have been doing forever and ever. Now, the Pakistani point of view is this, that we are Muslims and they are Muslims. We are Muslims, that is the Pakistanis, and they are Muslims, that is the Afghans. Why are Muslims killing Muslims? But that has been the history throughout. Iran-Iraq war, Muslims are killing Muslims. Today, Afghanistan and Pakistan, Muslims killing Muslims. 1971, Muslims killing Muslims. I mean, East Pakistan and West Pakistan, Muslims are killing Muslims. In Pakistan today, 97% Muslims, 96% Muslims in Pakistan, they're killing each other. Maximum amount of Islamophobia is in Pakistan. Why is Pakistan showing surprise that the Afghans are coming and killing? Afghans have always been coming and killing you. It is just that when they were doing it to the Hindus, you were celebrating. Now they're doing it towards you, you are feeling bad. And you're saying that, why is this happening? This is just repetition of history. You have to get used to it. There is no other way. You have to accept the fact that you cannot stop the Afghans. They will come, they will hammer you, they will go back. Earlier, they were looting temples. Now, all the temples in Pakistan are broken. There are hardly any temples in Pakistan. Today, they are stealing dollars. Right? Earlier, they were sending weapons. Today, they are sending drugs and Kalashnikovs. This is something that the Afghans have been doing for 1,000 years. There is no surprises there. Another point, the first came after the visit to Quetta by Army Chief General Asim Munir, which called on the Afghan interim government to abide by the commitments made in the Doha Agreement forged between the US and Taliban in 2020. The remark attributed to him warned of an effective response by the country's security forces if attacks continued. The sanctuaries available to terrorists of proscribed TTP and availability of the latest weapons to terrorists were noted by the conference as a major reason for impacting security of Pakistan. So, I don't understand one thing. You have warned of a response. Again, this is a Lahori Punjabi film, Maula Jat, in which two people are going to stand and threaten each other. Are you going to do something, Pakistan Army, or are you not going to do anything? Or are you just going to threaten the Afghans? Because the Afghans clearly don't care, right? They didn't care when the Soviets invaded and they didn't care when the Americans came. They don't care. And if you have the courage, bomb Kabul. You have your F-16s. You have your so-called number one Pakistan Army. You have your so-called number one ISI intelligence service of the world. What are they doing? Ladies and gentlemen, recently Pakistan cancelled its annual exercises. Maneuvers, military maneuvers in which you practice your tactics and your strategy. They happen across all armies in the world. Pakistan cancelled them. Why did Pakistan cancel? Pakistan cancelled simply because Pakistan did not have the money to put fuel in the tanks and in the vehicles. They did not have money for the exercises. They did not have money for arms and ammunition. This Pakistan, which cannot do a simple annual military exercise, says that it does not have the money for a simple military exercise. This Pakistani army is threatening the Afghan Taliban. Those Afghan Taliban whose forefathers fought the Soviets, who fought the Americans, who, by the way, even today rule Afghanistan. The Pakistani army is threatening them with dire consequences. I don't know when this comedy in Rawalpindi is going to stop. I hope there is peace. But looking at history, I doubt whether there'll be peace anytime between the Afghans and the Pakistanis. That area of Pakistan was once India. And the Pakistanis celebrated we have a country of our own. What they didn't realize is that good, you have a country of your own, but today you have provided India with a buffer. Because what you're suffering, India would have suffered. But today you are suffering. You are suffering because you have a border with Afghanistan, and these attacks will continue in future also. Because these attacks have a 1,000-year-old history. They are not stopping anytime soon. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, press like, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai.